Good morning, students. In the last class, we have seen classification of contracts. Now, this is the next chapter, offer and acceptance. Under that, today we are going to learn about offer. What is an offer, then meaning of offer, types of offer, how the offer is made, as well as what constitutes an offer, or you can say test of offer. And then we will enter into legal rules as to valid offer. Valid offer means legally recognized offer. So now let us get into what is an offer. When do you say the offer is made? We can simply say that offer is made when a person makes a proposal to the another to get into a legally binding agreement. When you make a proposal to the another person to enter into a legally binding agreement, then it is known as offer. But here section 2 subsection A of the Indian Contract Act 1872 says a person is said to have made an offer. किसी भी इंसान को बोलेंगे कि वो ऑफर कर रहा है when he signifies means declares, when he signifies his willingness to another, he declares his willingness to another. What is his willingness? To do or abstain from doing anything. To do means to do something, or abstain means not to do anything. He either expresses his willingness to do something or abstain from doing something and anything with a view to get the assent of the other to such act or abstinence. What do you mean by the word assent? Assent means positive response. Positive response of the other to such act or abstinence. तो सिंपली क्या बोलेंगे यहाँ पर? कब बोलेंगे कि ये पर्सन ऑफर कर रहा है? जब वो अपना विलिंगनेस बताता है किसी और को कुछ करने का या कुछ नहीं करने का, और वो किस वजह से बताता है, क्या उसका विलिंगनेस इंटेंशन होता है? टू गेट द एसेंट, सामने वाले की हामी चाहिए, काय के लिए? टू सच एक्ट और एब्स्टिनेंस. देन वी विल से द ऑफर इज मेड, द लीगल वे ऑफ मेकिंग द ऑफर. This is the definition, section 2 subsection A. Here one person is offering to do something or not to do something to another, and that another, you expect that another to give his positive response. Then we will say it is a offer. Now apart from that, now let us get into some of the terms. Here section 2 subsection C says offerer means the person who is making a proposal. So offerer, proposer, we can say that, or we can say promiser. Now offeree is a person to whom you are making it, offeree, or you can call him proposee. Now this offeree or proposee, when he accepts the promiser's offer, then he becomes acceptor. You can say acceptor, or even you can say promisee. So this is about it. So offerer, the one who is making the offer, offeree to whom the offer is made, offeree becomes acceptor when he accepts the offer. Now let us get into the next. How the offer is made? So on that basis, it will decide what kind of offer it is. Like express offer, where the words are present, either written or verbal or oral. Now implied offer is where there are no words are absent. Only through action or conduct you will understand the offer is made. Like installation of a weighing machine in the near the railway station, or at the railway station or the airport. The one who is installing that weighing machine is making an implied offer without saying anything. He is making an offer that anyone can come and insert a coin and get the weight. So this is implied offer. Another example, a bus moving on a particular route. promise, it is an implied promise that it will take you from one destination to another destination at a certain amount of money. So this is done by the transport authorities. So this is an example of an implied offer. Then next to that, specific offer. Specific offer is offer made to only one person. Like suppose A is making an offer to B. So B only should accept, not C. This is the meaning of specific offer. General offer. General offer is an offer made to the world at large. Like here one example you can take of general offer. Suppose you have lost one dog and you give a newspaper advertisement that anyone who gets my lost dog with a photo, you give it in the newspaper, will get 10,000 rupees. This is an example of general offer. In the same way, we can see one more famous case under this general offer is Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. In this case, what happened? Mrs. Carlyle was suffering from influenza, and Carbolic Smoke Ball Company, they are the sellers of smoke balls. So they have made a newspaper advertisement. Whoever uses the Carbolic Company smoke balls and still suffer from influenza will get a prize money. So what Mrs. Carlyle has done? Mrs. Carlyle has bought the smoke balls of Carbolic Company and used it as per the instructions, but there was no cure. So Mrs. Carlyle is eligible for that prize money as she has accepted that offer. So in the same way, whoever is suffering from influenza and using the smoke balls but not getting the cure, so many contracts will take place in this case. Next to that, what constitutes an offer? Means test of offer, whether it is an offer or not. How to know? So the first one, genuine intention on the part of the offerer. Like when the one person who is making an offer or a proposal, he must be ready. His intention should be to be following what he is saying, or he is serious about his offer. This is what it means. If he says jokingly, then that is not an offer. So there must be a genuine intention on the part of the offerer, whatever he is offering or whatever he is promising. Next, the terms of the offer must be definite. There should not be any confusion or vagueness. The definiteness in the terms is a must. Next, made with a view to get an assent. When you make an offer, your intention, you are making that offer with the intention to get the assent or the positive response from the other party. See, you are making an offer with the intention to get the assent, positive response. You may get, you may not get, that is different, but you are making that offer with the intention to get the assent of the other. Next, last, the offer must be communicated to the offeree or to the person to whom you are making. The offer must be communicated, then only we can say it is offer. So there are 4 tests for the offer. First, genuine intention. Second, definiteness in the terms of offer. Next, made with a view to get the assent of the other. And last, it must be communicated to the offeree. Now we will go through the legal rules as to offer. When do you say that the offer is valid? So the first legal rule as to offer is it must be capable of being accepted and must give rise to legal relationship. So whenever the offer is made, the intention of the parties must be to be legally binding. So in this case, it must be capable of being accepted and must give rise to legal relationship or a legal tie or a legal binding between the parties. Then only we will say the offer is valid. Next, second, the terms of offer must be definite and certain and not vague or ambiguous, confusing नहीं रहना. तो यहाँ पर टेलर वर्सेस पार्टिंगटन एक केस है. यहाँ पर सपोज ए is offering his house on lease and B is ready to take it. So B says, I am ready to take your house on lease for 3 years provided your house is thoroughly repaired and your drawing room is handsomely decorated. What do you mean by handsomely decorated? Is not having any clarity. That is why there is no contract or the offer is not there at all. Next. Offer must be distinguished from means इनको ऑफर नहीं बोलेंगे. कैसे? ऑफर मस्ट बी डिस्टिंग्विश फ्रॉम, ऑफर इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ एन इंटेंशन और एनी अनाउंसमेंट्स. Declaration of an intention or announcements, like for example beauty contest is going to be organized or some scholarship test is going to take place. These are announcements, these are not offers. Next, declaration of an intention, when you declare your intention. In this case there is a famous case, Reficus, and under this case what happens, would-be father-in-law is telling to his would-be son-in-law that if you marry my daughter, I am going to give so much property to you. So this is just a declaration of an intention. There is no claim or there is no legal relationship. So we cannot say it is an offer. Next to that, an invitation to make an offer or to do business. For example, when you see some showcases where the articles are displayed, these are invitation to an offer. In the same way, prospectus issued by the company is an invitation to an offer, not an offer at all. When you apply for shares of that company, then that becomes offer. But mere prospectus is an invitation to an offer but not an offer at all. So this is in the same way here. Newspaper advertisements are not offer except general offer. Like we have seen Lost Dog, or we have seen Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. Smoke Ball Company has given an advertisement, Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. So general offer can be given through newspapers, but otherwise newspaper advertisement like buy one get one free, you see such advertisements, so those are not offers at all. Next, offer must be communicated to the offeree. It is a precondition that the offer must be communicated to the offeree. He must be aware of the offer. Then only he is like entering into a contract. For example, we will say Fitch versus Nedakar. Here A has lost his dog and he has given a newspaper advertisement that whoever finds the dog will be given the reward. Now B gets the dog but he is not aware of the offer. So B will not be getting any money because he is not being communicated about the offer, or he is not aware about the offer. So there must be communication of the offer to the offeree, then only they will get into a legal relationship. In the same way, one more example will take. Suppose A has lost his dog and he has sent his servant to find the dog, and afterwards he gives a newspaper advertisement that whoever finds the dog will be getting such and such a money. But the servant is not aware about the offer. So in this case also, servant, though he is finding the dog, he will not get the money because the offer is not communicated to the servant. Next, it must be made with a view to get the assent of the other party. Always when you are making offer, what you intend to, what you expect from the other party is he must give a positive response to whatever you are offering. That must be your intention or view. With that intention only, when the offer is made, then it is offer, otherwise it is not an offer. Next, offer should not contain a term non-compliance of which may be assume to amount to acceptance. Means what? Suppose A makes an offer to B, that A says that I'm ready to sell my horse, black horse, for 20,000 to you. And if you don't reply no, I will within 7 days I will assume you have accepted. That is not offer at all, because offer should not contain a term non-compliance of which may be assumed to amount to acceptance. Like within a week, if I don't hear anything from you, I will treat it as if you have accepted. That is not offer at all. That term should not be there in the offer. Next, a statement of price, mere statement of price, just you are declaring the price of such and such is so much. If you are declaring that price, then it is not an offer at all. Just a declaration of price is not an offer. Here there is a famous case for this, Harvey versus Fassett. Now, in this case, the 3 telegrams are exchanged between them. Like first telegram by Harvey. Harvey is telling first, listen carefully, that Harvey is telling, are you ready to sell your bumper hall pen? In the first statement. Second statement, quote the lowest price of bumper hall pen. 2 questions are asked. First, are you willing to sell your bumper hall pen? Second, quote the lowest price. 2 questions are asked. Now, Harvey has sent a telegram to Fassett. Fassett is replying, the lowest price of bumper hall pen is 900 pounds. Now, Harvey says, I am ready to buy this. There is no contract. Why? Because Fassett has replied to only one question, that is the lowest price of the bumper hall pen he has quoted, but he has not answered the first question, that are you willing to sell your bumper hall pen? For this, Fassett is silent. That is why there is no contract between Harvey and Fassett, because Fassett has just quoted the lowest price of bumper hall pen, so there is no legally binding contract between Harvey and Fassett. So with this we have finished the legal rules as to offer. Then if the 7 essential elements or rules are present in an offer, then we can say the offer is valid.